You're listening to Where You Live with Gene and Tony.
This is Where You Live with Gene and Tony. We're broadcasting from the Natural Green Lawn.
That's right. Spin a wheel. See if another house gets foreclosed in your association.
It's time for the game,
And foreclose on you. I'm sorry.
Dear.
Go ahead.
We're broadcasting from the Natural Green Lawn and Landscape Studios. We're brought to you by American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency, and by Extreme Exteriors. You can count on Extreme Exteriors for expert installation of exterior siding, roofing, soffits, fascia, decks, windows, and more. With their knowledge and experience, they can design the perfect solution to make your home beautiful and energy efficient, saving you maintenance and money for years to come. Call Extreme Exteriors at 763-441-1334 and tell them you heard it here on Where You Live. It's time to hear from the Community Associations Institute. The CAI Minute is brought to you by New Concepts Rental Management. Whether you're an accidental landlord or a seasoned investor, New Concepts Rental Management can help you achieve your financial goals. New Concepts Rental Management can advise and guide you through every aspect of the business. Give me a call, Tony Crockett, at New Concepts Rental Management, 952-922-2500.
Are you a member of the Community Associations Institute? For nearly 40 years, CAI has provided education and resources to volunteer homeowners who govern community associations and the professionals who support them. Visit caionline.org to learn more. That address again is caionline.org. CAI helps community association board members by providing online resources, in-person training, and hard copy publications written by association management experts. CAI offers community managers professional development, networking opportunities, and a certification program that's established as the industry standard nationwide. Minnesota has its own chapter of the Community Associations Institute to bring resources and tools from community associations around the country right to your home. Visit caimn.com to learn more and become a member of CAI today. Your community and management company will benefit from your involvement. Join the Community Associations Institute today at caimn.com and click on Membership.
I want to mention, Gene, we have a hotline. We like to hear from our
Yes.
listeners, and I would like to call out for good comments from listeners. I want to hear what you like about living in a homeowners association. We just don't get to hear that enough. Why were these associations created in the first place, and what are the benefits of living there? So call us and let us know what you like about your association. 952-224-2668. 952-224-2668 is our hotline. You can leave a message and we'll talk about it on the air. We ended the last segment talking about homeowner associations who are now foreclosing on banks.
Very good idea.
Who have repossessed properties and have not paid assessments. And we were talking about the lien, the power of the lien that the association has on the property. It's a very good reason that they have that.
Yes, and last year we on this show talked about some movements and stirrings at the state legislature where there was a group of people who said we want to limit homeowner associations from being able to foreclose and
For non-payment of assessments.
And they just said that's something that should not be given to them whatsoever. And of course, we were able to see that bill which was set aside.
Right.
And people saw.
The reason is associations are only made up of all the homeowners that live there. We're not talking about some foreign entity or some tyrant that's swooping down, controlling your lives. You control your own lives in a homeowners association, and that means the association pays for services, services, for everyone. If I don't pay my share, my neighbors are picking up the slack. And if that continues to happen, the association gets really strapped for funds.
To me, then it becomes a moral issue.
There you go. It's ethical, at least.
I think it really is, because to say that other people aren't going to pay their fair share but are receiving all of these services, there's nothing right about that.
No, there isn't.
And that's why a city or a municipality has the right. If someone isn't paying their property tax, they get to take the property away from them. Or the association, the same thing.
There you go. Even a smaller issue, if you're not paying your water and sewer bill, the city can shut off your water. Correct?
That's right.
I don't know of any association, at least none I've worked with, allows the association to shut off the water to one unit or to shut off services to one
No,
unit or to stop picking up trash for
you're right.
one unit.
As a matter of fact, if a person has not paid their association dues in Minnesota, the association is forbidden from being able to shut off those services directly to their unit.
Okay, I didn't realize that was statewide. But
So
they're hamstrung on that side. They can't just stop providing these services.
Yeah.
So these bank foreclosed units, the banks are sitting on them. Sometimes they're not taking any action at all, and they're not paying their monthly assessment.
And so we want people to see in this whole debate about associations and trying to limit their ability to foreclose, you got to remember there's this other side, the unintended consequences.
That's right.
And when you limit an association's ability to foreclose on a homeowner, then you limit their ability to foreclose on a bank. And I don't know how many people feel that
banks should
that's that bad.
That's right. Is that such a bad thing?
And I will say that with what we're dealing with in foreclosures, with properties being underwater, I would say that we have a disproportionate amount still of properties that are distressed properties, are bank foreclosed properties that they own, and they have not been paying their monthly assessment to the association. And we want associations out there to know you can do that.
That's right. You can do something about that. I spoke to an association. Actually, it was the Master Association. I think there's maybe 8 or 10 homeowner associations under the umbrella of this Master Association. And there was one association, a small association, and I'm sorry, I can't remember the exact figures, but it was small. I mean, like fewer than 50 units, and 40% of them, I think,
I think if it's the one we're talking about, I think they have between 17 and 20.
Oh my gosh!
Units.
So it's really small.
Very small.
And I think it was close to half were foreclosed upon.
Whoa.
And this poor association was really facing disaster. They could not pay their bills.
Now, this was a self-managed association.
It was. It happened to be, yes, because I think a manager would have advised them differently. They weren't taking any legal action. They weren't even taking legal action against delinquent owners.
Did you ask them why?
They said they couldn't afford to. Because, of course, I started by saying, call the attorney and start legal collection action against people who haven't paid.
Yeah.
And we can't afford an attorney. What do you think about that answer?
Well, I think if they were coming to us for any kind of consulting, one of the things that we would be telling them is you don't need to do the entire 50% of the property all at once.
Okay.
Do one or two.
Okay.
Do one and let it happen slowly, because I can tell you that if you do nothing, nothing's going to change. But if you do,
it will only change for the worse.
But if you use what you can, sometimes we have this mentality: we got to see it all happen or nothing at all.
Oh, that's so common. We want one solution to solve all our problems.
Take care of it all.
I know.
Right
I want
now.
that.
But sometimes, if you've gotten into a hole that you dug yourself, you got there over time.
That's true.
You dug
that's
it.
True.
So
time. Foreclose on one. Get some more cash flowing into your coffers, then take the next step and foreclose on another.
Yes.
Or take collection action, You have to take legal action. These are people's homes, so we're protected in our homes. You have to take legal action.
That was the other thing with at the state legislature last year, with people wanting to see these foreclosures, that right taken away from an association. You can't. You can't do that. People were at the state legislature last year saying that, we're afraid. I don't know a lot of people had specific instances that they could name, but they said, we're afraid that the association, because they have this power, will foreclose on a $50 fine, a $100 fine.
Really? So there weren't even people standing up who had experienced something nefarious? Or
I can't remember hearing anybody who said the association foreclosed on me because I owe $200 in fines. Because I'll tell you, it just doesn't happen.
It doesn't make sense.
And
that's right.
And that association you talked to is a prime example.
Yeah.
It costs thousands of dollars to foreclose on a unit. you're not going to throw good money after bad.
That's right. So you're not going to be going after the $50 fines or the person that's 1 month behind.
To make a statement like this.
That's true.
What's interesting in this article that was put out by CNN, they had a quote by some of the banks, and one of the banks, and this was from Deutsche Bank last spring, that bank failed to pay fees for more than 2.5 years on a home that they owned.
Right.
And people from Deutsche Bank claimed, they said, we're just trustees of the property, and that the mortgage company servicing the account is responsible for paying the fees. That is absolutely dishonest. And we got to take a break right now. When we come back, we'll wrap up and talk why that is such a blatantly dishonest statement. More on foreclosures and what HOAs can do about it after these messages.